Everybody. Hey there. Hey everybody. Hi replay people. Welcome to the Midday Moment. I heart you, each of you. Peekaboo. If this is your first time joining us, I'm your host, Dr. Davina Jones. Welcome to the Midday Moment. The Midday Moment is the place where we expect great things right here in the middle of the day. Not because we ignore the questions of our day, not because we ignore the challenges of our day. We expect great things because we recognize that we are both fully human and fully divine. And in our fully human selves, we got a lot of stuff. That's some of the stuff you hear in my fully human self. And in our fully divine self, we got a lot of stuff. The stuff that's in our divine self, it heals all the stuff that's in the human self. All the stuff in the divine self. It provides for that which is in the human self. All the stuff in the divine self, it restores the stuff in the human self. So the Midday Moment is designed to help you tap into your divine. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. And so we are not by ourselves in doing so. The Midday Moment is a part of a larger network called Kingdom. And I have so many different partners in Kingdom that I work with, that I teach with, and that I learn from in terms of our spiritual leaders. And so we invite you to scroll through our Midday Moment Facebook page, and I'll repost some of those commercials so that you can participate in the different menu options of inspirations. All right? Come on, OGs. It's time, everybody. It's time for the Midday Moment. Hey. It's time for the Midday Moment. It's time for the Midday Moment. Whoa, it's time. And what is it time for? Expecting. I'm expecting great things. Yes, I'm expecting great things and creating. So I'm creating great things. I'm creating great things. Yes. And now we say what we're creating at. In my life, yeah, I'm creating great things. In my home, oh, I'm creating great things. All around, that's background. I'm creating great things, yeah. Oh, eyes may not see, but I choose to believe. You may not see, but I choose to believe. They may not see, but I choose to. Guess what else? Sometimes I do not see, but I choose to believe. I believe in great things. Hey. Oh. All right, everybody, say thank you, theme song. Thank you, theme song. Very good. And theme song says you are welcome. That is Priscilla Hilliard. Great things. Our OGs voted to give keep that another year. So we're still on it. I started the Midday Moment in my backyard right at the top of the pandemic experience in 2019. All the schools shut down. The college here shut down. Of course, all the K through 12 schools shut down. And I was home with the kids and family and parents and so forth, and I just could not, I was not able to see. I refused to see ourselves just sitting around the house looking at each other, experiencing something called this pandemic. And so we started having school in the backyard. And before it was over, we had a group of neighborhood kids from a couple of houses over. The young lady from across the street, she came over. She's the same age as the 10-year-old, so they were all 3 years ago. That would make them what, 8, 7, 7, 8, somewhere in there. They'll be 11 this year. And so she'd be out there. I go out in the back of the yard to set up at 8:30, and she'd be across the street on the sidewalk with her little tablet and her little chair, uh, uh, and and her yoga mat, because we opened our morning with yoga stretches and just kind of some nice talking to the body and talking to the self. So that is where the midday moment started, and I desired to just come on live in the middle of the day. Usually it was right after the our homeschool, and just to encourage people. And it continued to blossom into me sitting here with makeup on. But in the backyard, we ain't have on no makeup, y'all. We were just in the backyard with all my babies. So, anyways, that's just it's a little nugget. However, I didn't plan on this consciously, but it fits for today. So today we are pulled my book out. I read it this morning, but I haven't pulled it out. Dr. Pull, if you're watching, I'm gonna have to buy me another copy because water. I've been drinking a lot of water. And my book got all watered, so it's watered and it's nice. But I desire to read a dry one, so I'm ordering me a new book. We are reading right now from the book. It's just that simple. You can get your copy also from um, our presiding prelate and local spiritual teacher, Dr. Dora R. Pulley. You can email DOCTOR, that's doctor spelled out, PULLEY, and you can request a copy for purchase of It's Just That Simple. And we've been reading in this book. This is our next book, and the premise is that, and I'll go back to my story because the story actually fits where I am today. The premise of the book is that in many faiths, and in particular Christian faith, which is what we practice a version of that, in many faiths, sometimes it's a little simple to get in, but not very simple to stay in and do it quote unquote right and keep it going. And Christianity is like that. Many versions of Christianity, easy to welcome you in, but then in order to really, experience it, it's just so hard and rough and just cantankerous and just full of all kinds of mean stuff and a mean God and rules and regulations, and you be just about dead trying to be a Christian. And so anyways, somebody said that wasn't a nice joke. Anyways, we'll keep on going. I can fill in stuff later. And so it's just that simple says that, yes, it's that simple to come in, but it's also that it's simple to experience the faith. And for us, we practice a version of Christianity called New Thought. We are actually called Kingdom. It is influenced by New Thought, metaphysics, and certainly the foundations of Scripture. And for us, it's really simple: love God, love yourself, and love your neighbor as yourself. That's the experience. And I've been recalling what my brother said, Deacon Kenneth Butler Jr. Life is a big classroom. The Lord God is the teacher, and love is always the lesson. Love doesn't mean we take stuff and people run over us. It simply means that I operate from this premise. I love God, love myself, and I love you as I love myself. There are some things I don't do to myself because I love myself. Uh-huh, that's correct. And so that also translates to you. Is some things I don't put up with you because I wouldn't put up with that with myself. And so love is not just about saying, sure, you can hit me upside the head. No, I'm not hitting myself upside the head, and you're not going to hit me upside the head either. All right. So we are on page 6. We're on page 6, and thank you for being patient with me as I talk through it a little bit. We are on page 6, and we are studying from page 5 to 6. We are studying the order of love that I just gave: God, self, others, and that's very controversial for some people. And the metaphor that's sitting here to help you conceptualize it is many of us are familiar with what happens on that plane. When that oxygen mask drops, they tell you to put it on yourself, and then you put it on other people. And Dr. Pulley writes in the book that in that moment, he was saying, no, I'm not going to do that because my babies are going to die if they don't get oxygen first. And what he realizes that we all going to die if I don't get oxygen first. And so let me give you, normally we wrap things up in a few points to help you really kind of package it and put it together. But today I'm going to give you a little bit of a story, refer to a movie. It's a classic. And then we'll be done with the midday moment. So some of you remember the movie Soul Food that came out years ago. Might probably been in the 90s or late 90s, early 2000s. So Soul Food was a very popular movie. with Vivica Fox, Nia Long, Loretta Devine. No, not Loretta. I love Loretta Devine, but she was not in that movie. I forget the character that played the mother, but nonetheless, I can't remember the character. But nonetheless, the movie was centered around the matriarch of the family, and as long as the matriarch of the family was alive and functioning, then the family was functioning. Okay. Well, the matriarch became ill, diabetes, I believe. And you could see building up in the movie where they'd say, take care of yourself, mama. And mama, like some people do, I'm gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. And mama transitions in the movie. When mama transitions in the movie, all hell breaks loose. All hell breaks loose. And so I share that even though it's a Hollywood movie, I'm telling you, I have seen that. I have seen that so many times in life where the leader does not take care of him or herself. And when that leader is then, transition for whatever reason, the organization falls to pieces. It is important that I don't care how important you see yourself, I got to stay up, I got to stay up. You better get some rest and take care of yourself. Now, how does this relate back to my backyard and the start of the midday moment? Because my brother calls me the new big mama of the family, so that when I see something and I see an opportunity to minister care, to minister unity, to minister forward movement, I sow seeds in that way in the family, and not for this reason. That's just you know that's the energy that I operate in, and yet it is important for me to take care of myself. And so one of the things that I introduced the kids to was yoga, because yoga is a part of me taking care of myself. And I slowed down quite a bit during the pandemic, and I'm coming back into it, in the way that I was before. But it's important that I take care of myself. I had, even this last week, I had a very, very unique situation where I had to make some tough decisions, things that I don't do to myself and don't put up with myself. I'm not gonna let you do to me. And so I had to make some very, very kind of drastic decisions, even involve law enforcement. And so, but it was necessary so that I make sure that I follow this order of love. And sometimes that means I have to release you to figure out the order of love. Because if I don't maintain oxygen for myself, there's a whole lot of stuff that just comes falling down. As he said in the book, if I don't get oxygen, we all gonna die. Because the people that you're leading, they've not yet configured the capacity to get the oxygen. And so while you're teaching them to get the oxygen, you have to put the mask on, or else you all die. That's what happened in the movie. And then they all had to kind of regroup and figure out how to be a family now that the matriarch is gone. And so I'm encouraging you, it's very important that you give yourself what self requires. I had an asthmatic flare up. I'm so grateful, Elder Marilyn Schoenfelder. I had a coughing spell yesterday in the middle of service, and Elder Marilyn came out and said, "That sounds like asthma." And I'm like, "Gosh, dog it. She got it. It sure is." And I ignored it. But asthma means there's a deep cry. And I knew what I was crying about because of what I was releasing that previous week. And that asthma came up to say, make sure you breathe and give yourself some oxygen. Give yourself some oxygen. Give yourself some oxygen. Y'all know people that have asthma attacks, they can't breathe. Yeah. So give yourself some oxygen. It's very important. And you need to do it in that order: love God, love yourself, and then you take care of the other people. All right. Take care, everybody. I got to go. I got another full, beautiful day ahead of me. This is my first official day. Um, Speaking of leadership, leading one of our college campuses here in West La Chapa, Florida. And even as I teach this, I'm reminded, make sure I give myself the oxygen so that I can lead with wisdom, lead with intelligence, lead with courage, and lead with grace, and balance and all of that. And so grateful, my spiritual leader, Dr. Pulley, and our prelate, presiding prelate for Church of the Everlasting Kingdom, and my uncle, I call him my uncle, Bishop A. Bernard Hector, vice presiding prelate of Church of the Everlasting Kingdom, was in town from Baltimore, and they came, did a drive-by. They came and did a drive-by here at the college to pray for me and the associate dean who leads with me, and and we intend to do some good work, do some really good work, and let the light shine, let the light of goodness shine all around us, and so that people will be encouraged and inspired. All right. So, anyways, that was the whole lot, wasn't it? It's all good stuff, though. I love y'all. Y'all take care, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for the midday moment. Y'all like and share this with different ones. Okay. I love you. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Take care, everybody. God bless you. And you know it. Come on, give it to me. That's it. And God be you. Take care.